go over their success story, everything you need to know about this crime podcast, and why this is actually one of the best in the niche. Okay, so let's first talk about Crime Junkie this year. So if you think about Crime Junkie, I want you to think about a weekly podcast, okay? And you have a podcast that talks about true crime, okay? So you're talking about it's not about fiction. No, that you have a true crime podcast, okay? And the cool thing is that you have two very knowledgeable, two very successful, very creative hosts discussing the gripping cases they can't get out of their heads. So that's really cool. And so the first host is Ashley Flowers, and the second host actually is Brit Prawat. Okay, and the cool thing about that duo is that they are very knowledgeable. They do a lot of research beforehand for every case they will discuss on the show. And the cool thing is that they are very like they're very dynamic. They listen to their audience, and they always introduce new formats to sort of make the case coverage more enjoyable. Okay, that's really cool. So that's what Crime Junkie really is. Okay, this is a crime podcast, true crime podcast. Okay, and the cool thing about the host is that they've been celebrated for many years for their very unique storytelling. I mean, you got to really listen. If you have never listened to Crime Junkie, I want you to really listen to at least one episode. You know, maybe a true crime is not your thing, but give it a try for one episode and see how creative Ashley and Brit really are. So that's really fantastic. So whether you are the person who recounts your latest true crime deep dive during dinners with friends, or you're looking for ways to help give underrepresented victims a voice, you are a crime junkie. And the cool thing is that you can actually reach out to the show if you think that you have actually a case that they might be interested in. I'll speak about how to reach out to the show later on, but one thing I just want to say is that you have about 1 to 2 billion downloads on Apple. That's really huge, and that's fantastic too. So if you think about true crime, I mean, when you think about Crime Junkie, what's the mission of this show? What's the main goal that the show really attempts to reach every single week? Because Crime Junkie don't think that they are obsessed with crime, or let's say no. The thing is that this is what I love about their show is that it can be sort of akin to to research. Okay, they research deeply the crime that they will be covering. So Crime Junkie, think about the show as a weekly true crime podcast dedicated to covering the cases that basically are interesting. They are interesting to Ashley or Brit. Okay, so every Monday, the host Ashley Flowers walks you and her best friend Brit Prawat through cases that need your attention. So that's an important element to think about. And what they do is that the show comes out every Monday. So you have so now the platform you are listening to the show on, it could be available later on, not just Monday, because once it's issued on Monday, then the platforms have to be able to make it available too. Normally is it's actually automatic, the publication, but you just never know. So that's the mission. Okay, so why people love this show? Why do people love Crime Junkie? Well, the thing is that Crime Junkie is constantly reinventing the crime podcast through the creativity of its host, but also the research they do too. Because see, the thing is that when you think about Crime Junkie, you have to understand that this show has been around for a while, and they know the target audience pretty well, and they try to make sure that they are really delivering the kind of message, the kind of content, the kind of information that their target audience really is interested in. Okay, now their target audience is not really global. No, they have an audience based primarily in the United States, unless they have a case that really appeals to let's say a multi-geography audience. But no, usually they are more like focusing on U.S. based cases. So just want to throw it in there. So let me talk to you about the host here. If you think about Crime Junkie success stories, you have to really understand that that a very important foundation of that success has to do with the host. Okay, so you have basically Ashley Flowers, and then you have Brit Prawat. Okay, just want to let you know that the Crime Junkie started about 6 years ago, 7 years ago. They started in December 2017, so they've been around for 7 good years as of the date of this show, 7 or 8 years. So that's really cool. And so let me first talk to you about Ashley. Now, Ashley Flowers is it's a smart host. It's a very creative host. It's actually a very engaged host. Okay, and she is the founder and chief executive officer of AudioChuck, the award-winning independent media and podcast production company known for its, for several publications. Okay, so if you think about the Crime Junkie is just one arm of AudioChuck. Okay, so that's kind of cool. This reminds me of this is kind of similar to what you have with the Tucker Carlson show, which is just a subsidiary. I mean, subsidiary a sub content, a sub piece of the Tucker Carlson network. So Ashley Flowers is actually an executive. She's a CEO, and she runs her business pretty well. So, as founder of AudioChuck, she works with her team to create an overarching content strategy and vision for the network of shows and company growth. She also hosts several AudioChuck shows, including chart topping podcast Crime Junkie, The Deck, and The Deck Investigates. So, you know, Crime Junkie is not the only production that Ashley covers. So that's kind of cool. You also have Brit Prawat, and I love Brit also. Brit actually brings a certain natural flair to the whole podcasting world, and I love the fact that she's constantly when she talks, when she co-hosts, you know that she's done research. This is a very smart woman, a smart host who understands the cases she's discussing and how those cases can impact their audience. So fantastic. Okay, so those two are just like those two. Of course, they have a team behind them, but the two actually bring a certain chemistry on air. That's really fantastic. What about monetization? So if you think about Crime Junkie, of course, money has to be part of the equation. Otherwise, they can't really survive. Okay. So in terms of monetization, this podcast makes money several ways. Several ways. Number one, you have Crime Junkie on tour. So periodically, Ashley and Brit actually organize the tours. I mean, not they, but their team organize tours for them. And so that the cool thing is that they are able to go to their audience to actually engage with their fans. This is a very smart idea because folks love hearing about true crime stories, but the ability to discuss those stories in live events is really a godsend for fans. Okay, so you have the ability to listen to the host on YouTube or Apple Podcast or Spotify, but you also have the opportunity to meet them face to face if they actually are part of if they're coming to a city near you. So that's kind of cool. So you can see on the screen here part of their upcoming content calendar, okay, or tour calendar. So in Indiana, Michigan, Tennessee, Illinois, and basically other places. Okay. You also have merch. So merch is another way they make money. So Crumb Junkie makes money through merch. That's kind of cool. So you are able to get all kinds of merch from them, from T-shirts to other gear. Okay, so other equipment. That's kind of cool. But the cool thing about Crumb Junkie is that they actually have they open and close their merch store. So this is not a permanent merch store that they have, and they are able to do that because they are really counting on cyclicality. They're counting on seasonal trends. Okay, so the cool thing is that they have studied their audience pretty well, and they know that certain items are more popular at certain times of the year. So this is a store that's actually not permanent, but more seasonal. And one thing I want to say also is that when it comes to merch that you get, that crime junkie merch, you are able to actually. I mean, they work with a third party processor. They work with a print on demand company to make sure that they are giving a second or third or fifth life to their podcast. So this is really fantastic. Another way that Crime Junkie hosts make money is through the fan club. Okay, the cool the cool thing is that their fan club is really lively. They have an engaged followership. Folks who are interested in true crime stories. They tend to listen to everything that Ashley and Brit said. And Brit say, and what I want to say here is that a fan club membership can actually help you big time. Okay, you are able to have access to exclusive benefits, exclusive deals, exclusive crime junkie deals. Okay, and you are able to immerse yourself more into the crime junkie experience. So if you are a super fan, if you are a top fan of the crime junkie family, actually you are able to become a fan. So that's really fantastic. And the cool thing also is that normally when you watch the show, and this is another way they make money. If you watch the show on YouTube, you watch the show on Apple, Spotify, you watch the show on on other platforms, you're gonna have ads, and they make money through the ads too. So advertising revenue is part of the this crime junkie machine. But if you want to really watch the show ad free, just become a member. So if you are a member, what happens here is that you are able to access the content ad free. That's really fantastic. Okay, and if you are actually if you join the fan club, you can also have you have early access to the merch store. As I told you a little earlier, their merch store is not permanent. They open it and close it, open and close it. I mean, this is a virtual store, of course, their online store. So you can see on the screen wonderful, beautiful Ashley in the Crime Junkie gear. That's really fantastic. I love it, and so that's kind of cool. So you have early access to the merch store. As a fan, you also have early access to event tickets. So there are conversations around true crimes when Ashley discusses a lot of cases that she's working on. So if you are a fan, you are able to have early access to those event tickets. That's kind of cool. And you also have a monthly bonus content. And this is another benefits that you will have if you are a fan. Okay, of course, remember that to become a fan, you have to pay for it. There are membership tiers. I will speak about the tiers later on. I mean, not later on, shortly. But yeah, you have monthly bonus content. So if you love content, if you love to hear extra content from Ash and Brit, as a fan club member, you will get exclusive additional content, including both audio and video every single month. This is kind of cool. So you are able to experience Crime Junkie all month long. You also have exclusive opportunities. So if you love the whole family, Ash and Brit, you are actually able to get exclusive opportunities that the general public doesn't have access to. This could be meetups, exclusive giveaways, or even meet and greet with Ash and Brit. So that's really cool. That's really fantastic. So let me talk to you about the membership tiers here. So basically, if you are going to be a fan, there is a cost to think about. So you can see on the screen that they have the weird ones, the rude ones, and the ones who stay alive. I mean, I love the quirky nature of those of the names. The way they word their membership tiers. Okay, and so if you are part of the weird ones, you're paying $5 a month or $60 a year, and this is kind of cool. If you let's say you love let's say you love one or two episodes every month, okay, and so you have immediate access to more than 90 bonus episodes of Crime Junkie. You have additional content, including one full-length bonus monthly. You have enhanced engagement in the Crime Junkie app. They do have an app too, by the way, and this is another way they make money as well. I mean, they make money through ads as well, but also other brand sponsorships. You also have an early ad-free wide release episodes, and you have primary entry to store and events. So that's if you are part of the weird ones. If you want to pay a little more, then you become part of the rude ones. So the rude ones, you're paying $10 a month or 120 a year. What's really interesting is that you do not have a discount if you pay a year or a month. And I think Crime Junkie should think about that because you want to reward actually customers who are accepting yearly billing. Okay, so you want to give a discount to them, but right now they don't have it. The way they have it is the same thing. It doesn't matter whether you pay a year or a month, whatever. Okay, so the rude ones, you are able to have immediate access to more than 150 bonus episodes of Crime Junkie, additional content including one full-length episodes and unlocked mini episode monthly. So that's kind of cool. Okay, and you have ad-free exclusive access to binge Counterclock season 7 and 6, enhanced engagement in the Crime Junkie app, early ad-free wide release episodes, and 10% off in their store, plus primary entry to store and events. Finally, you have the ones who stay alive. So this will cost you $20 a month or $240 a year. Okay, so this is actually if you are really the ultimate Crime Junkie fan. So you literally need everything that CJ Fan Club has to offer. So you have immediate access to all bonus episodes of Crime Junkie. Here you have a full-length episode along with an unlocked mini episode and additional monthly bonus content. Ad-free exclusive access to a binge Counterclock season 6 and 7. You have early ad-free wide release episodes, and this is a very good one. You have 20% off in basically their store plus primary entry to store an event. So that's really cool from a customer loyalty point of view. So let me give you a few extras here. So if you think about Crime Junkie as a podcast, I want you to really understand that they also have what they call the life rules, okay? So the thing is that when you think about Crime Junkie, this is not just a podcast that's trying to make money. No, they're trying to really lay out a solid foundation, a solid existential foundation for their podcast to really teach their audience good things about good things in life, So they have actually they have come up with something called life rules. So the life rules originate from common themes in the cases they cover. Okay, so basically those life rules are actually 12. There are 12 rules that you have to really let's say be aware of to stay alert at all times. Okay, so this is part of the let's say Ash and Brit strategy to educate their viewers. I mean, not viewers, to educate their listeners. Okay, and that's really cool. And also, basically, you are able to have if you're getting scammed, you can reach out to Crime Junkie and they will research your case. You can suggest a case also. Okay, and this is kind of cool. And also, if something is happening in your area, you can also hear from Crime Junkie. And finally, if let's say you want to hear insider updates, you can also reach out to a Crime Junkie, not a problem. Now, this is not part of their monetization, okay? So that's important. So you can see that basically, and I'm really surprised, but I guess that Ash and Brit are very busy, but they don't have books out there. Because normally, successful podcast hosts, they like to go on tour, but they also like to do public speaking. So Ash and Brit are so busy, nowadays that they don't have time to do public speaking. But yeah, probably this will happen in the future. Okay, I mean they have merch, that's kind of cool. They have tours, that's kind of cool. They have a fan club, that's kind of cool. But it will be good also to add maybe a book here and there, or maybe other stuff. So something that their team needs to think about. In closing, in today's conversation, I explained to you what makes Crime Junkie a very wonderful crime podcast. I spoke about Crime Junkie, their mission, why people love it, about the hosts, Ash and Brit. Okay, Ash and Brit, so Ashley Flowers and Brit Prawat, the monetization strategy they have, and finally the extras. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.